What's up, everybody? Good day. Today is February 26, 2022, and this is episode 276 of 413 Sports Talk. Good to have you with me, Rahim Escalai. Hope everybody's doing well today. Today, I have stories from Western Mass Sports, NBA, NHL, college basketball for the men's and women's, and the NFL's back. I have a list of the top 10 offensive tackles. I finally finished my list. Guys that are coming into the 2022 NFL Draft who you might see on your franchise at some point. So you might want to sit back, kick those feet up, and get ready to learn about some offensive linemen who are coming into the league. They might be on your team, and we're going to start with that first. But we have a special type of news to bring up today. Today is Championship Saturday. Western Massachusetts, we have the Springfield International Charter School, both boys and girls squads playing this weekend. We have the Central boys and girls team playing today. Bay State Academy, the Bulls, they were 14-4 this season. We got them squaring up against the Hoosick Valley Hurricanes later on. And we will talk about that actually now. We're going to start now. Fuck later on, right? Hoosick Valley versus the Bay State Academy Bulls. Bay State is 14-4. Hoosick Valley is 14-6. Bay State has won the last two meetings. The last two meetings between these two teams. Once on Valentine's Day, 55-50, where Deion Burr Jr. and company scraped out a win, but kind of was sloppy, and the defense kind of faltered. And then there was one previous to that just before Christmas on December 20th. They dominated 88-63. It's up to Deion Burr Jr., that 1,000-point scorer in Travis Jordan and Rodney Mayfield Jr., and the rest, this entire team needs to put in work today as they get ready to go up against the Hoosick Valley Hurricanes. Some other notable games to talk about today. We have Springfield International Charter at Taconic. Springfield International Charter boys team is 16-3. Taconic 16-4. Paulo Freire squares up against Drury. Drury 16-4. Paulo 7-7, but I believe Paulo is going to open this game up early and win big. And then the last one we're going to talk about too is Longmeadow at Central. We got Central in this one. Why would I go up against my own high school? Longmeadow is 12-8, and they've made strides this year. They've gotten better as a team, and that young talent is going to start to manifest next year and the year after. So hold your breath with this Longmeadow Lancers team. They're getting better. On the girls' side, we got Chicopee going up against 16-1 Central. Lee going on to take Hoosick Valley with 17-3. The Hoosick Valley basketball program, both on the boys and girls' side, is superb. Congratulations to whoever's doing that. South Hadley at Wacona, battle for the Berkshires. Even though South Hadley isn't in the Berkshires, it's right in that area, and they're still competitive. It's basketball, and this is episode 276, and it starts now. We're going to start with my top 10 offensive tackles. As you know, every year I evaluate the college prospects as they get ready to make the turn from NCAA football to the NFL. And here are 10 offensive tackles whom I think are going to make their faces and their presence known in the NFL. Might not be great guys, might not be a Hall of Fame group, but they are definitely worth looking at. You definitely should think about a lot of these guys because they could be starting for your squad. For example, if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, Steelers fan, some of these guys are scheme fit and not like just any tackles you could throw into any offense and they would just work out. So you definitely want to pay attention to that if you are hip to your team's offense or if you're hip to your team's offense and what they like to do when it comes to the guys up front. So let's start with number 10. Darian Kennard, a senior out of Kentucky, 6'5", 345 fucking pounds. Holy shit, this dude's a mountain. I posted about him weeks ago when he declared eligible for the 2022 NFL Draft as being a scheme fit guy for probably the Steelers at the bottom of the first round in that between like 20th. I think he'll go top 40 if he slips out of the first round. But I mean, I'm saying like slips out of the first round as if a team doesn't like want to give up something to take him. He's not really a first-round graded guy, per se, but I think that Darian Kennard could eventually grow into a great role and eventually become a starter, eventually become great. And maybe if he works on his footwork, or lack thereof, he can get better. Horrible footwork, as I said. His speed is shit. He's below average, as would be expected for a guy that big. But, some of them, like, you'd think would be a little bit more nimble with their feet. I don't know. Third or fourth round grade on him, but Darian Kennard was definitely considered a first-round pick at one point. Number 9, Abraham Lucas, a senior from Washington State, 6'6", 330. Similar build to my number 10 guy. Similar traits too, but I just think Abraham Lucas is more athletic and the footwork is better. He's good at pass protection, very smooth kick step, and that helps on back 5 to 7 step drops that a lot of quarterbacks like to take in the NFL. He's not really good in the run game. Often gets tricked by inside moves and strength. That core play strength is not right what you would expect it for him to be considered an elite tackle. But nonetheless, he's very calculated and composed. As I said, it's not really a strength guy. Can't really depend on that. It depends on his mind to beat guys. And at times that works in the NFL. Just not against young guys who bull rush and had plenty of stunts and tricks up their sleeve. Trickies up their sleeve. Wow. Number 8, Luke Goedeke. This guy might be familiar with that name and get familiar because he's going to be a star wherever he goes. Junior from Central Michigan. He's 6'5", 310, played on the right side, a little bit on the left too. What I like about Goedeke is I watched Central Michigan a lot this year. Specifically that bowl game they played on a Saturday a couple months ago. And I got to see this guy maul motherfuckers, just throw them on the ground, pancakes galore like it was motherfucking IHOP. He's good at all the little things. He's got great arms. They're above 33 inches. That's the threshold with offensive tackles as being good to, what is he going to depend on? How are we going to stop him from making this pass rusher stop sacking my quarterback? How the fuck are we going to do that? Don't worry about this with Luke Goedeke. He's one of the best in this list, actually. Couple things, though, weaknesses and why he's not lower or higher on the list, you know what I mean? Why he's more back with the guys who are... he's not really athletic. His get off on the ball is okay. I like the fact that he finishes blocks. And one thing you can see from Luke is that he looks for work in the run and the pass game. So after that first guy is pancaked and fucking smashed on the ground, he's looking to go to the next level, as most linemen are, to punish fucking linebackers and maybe safeties that want to be big ballsy and play the run. So you gotta like that for Luke Goedeke. Third, fourth round. This guy is the definition of flexibility. His technique is awesome. He can play anywhere on the line, and I expect him to be a steal, as I have him graded as a third or fourth round pick. Number 7, out of University of Louisiana Lafayette, senior Max Mitchell. Again, 6'6", 300. Good for a Shanahan running style, which at least more than half of the league kind of runs, that zone blocking scheme. Where it looks like a lot of times it gets faked to the fullback, but then the running back eventually gets it. This guy's a scheme guy because he can't just depend on strength and sheer size to get him in the NFL. He's schemed. He's very decent with his hands. This is a run guy. It's a guy who's probably going to get moved inside eventually, where he will actually probably shine the most. Could probably end up being a good guard when it's all said and done. But as you know, that position at the NFL is it's easy to fill, so it's not high paying, not high in demand. Number 6, Bernard Raymond out of Central Michigan, 6'7", 305. As I said, I paid a lot of attention to Central Michigan this year. Kind of had a jump on the fact that they were going to have a great offensive line this year, like an all-pro, like guys who are ready to step into roles in the NFL right now type of thing. So I kind of knew this was coming with them. Anyway, Bernard Raymond, I think I give him a second or third round grade. Some teams had him at first, starting at tackle. This is another guy that I think could transition to guard and be very effective nonetheless. Great run game. His hands, his technique. I like the way he's stout and he doesn't lean, even in pass protection. I'm not really sure how you could lean in run game if you're using the proper technique. You're not just relying on your weight and your body to hold fucking Aaron Donald where he is. But yeah, he's great with that when it comes to that. Now on the pass protection, the pass game, skills are questionable. His technique against power rushers needs to improve or just change altogether. He's good in depth with the kick step, and that's great. You like to see that for pass protection, but it's inconsistent at best. He looks for work in the run game. Like I said, the pass game needs to be polished, but not like their next guy, number 5. Honestly, who could probably go as the number 1 tackle, but there's a couple holes in which he has in his game. Number 5, Daniel Falele. Yes, 6'8", 387 from Minnesota. And unlike number 10, Darian Kennard, who's a big fucking mountain, this guy's a big mountain who can move. Very athletic, very good footwork, professional level footwork, honestly. The kick step is perfect, probably the best that I've seen in a while, and I've been evaluating offensive tackles for about 3 years now. Great size. He's better on the move, as I said, than Darian Kennard, but that's not his saving grace. Schemey guy, rounds 2 to 3. Think of Pittsburgh. Think of the Arizona Cardinals. Think of the New York Jets, who already took a fucking mountain in Mekhi Becton, who gets hurt every fucking year. And I think the anchor is awesome. You look for that in pass protection as well. Good enough to start right now. The skill step in his pass protection. Skill set has to have some work, but this guy is going. Daniel Falele will be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame at the end of his career. Daniel Falele will be a Hall of Famer. You heard it first. Number 4, Trevor Penning. A guy who I've kind of mixed emotions about here. Trevor Penning has been mocked by a bunch of people to be in the first round, the end of the first round. I mocked him in my last one to go to the Chiefs, I believe. I'm going to be fucking up, though, because the Chiefs just spent that money in free agency this past season. And they filled up a lot of holes on the offensive line, though it didn't pan out to a Super Bowl win this year. Chiefs, I believe, are the favorite from Vegas. So, hey. Anyway, Trevor Penning uses his arms better than a lot of the people I have listed at this point. He's very overly physical. He's an asshole. 18 penalties last season. He comes from the University of Northern Iowa. Uses his arms, as I said, better than anyone. He leans at times in pass protection, though. And a guy that leans often gives up the inside move. And boom, his quarterback sacked, and everybody's looking at you like, what the fuck? Very athletic. He's good good run blocker. Looks for work everywhere. Second round guy, not a first rounder. Number 3, Ikem Ekwonu. This guy's definitely going in the first round. 6'4", 320 out of NC State. He's great off the ball, great speed. That size-speed ratio is out of this world. It just fucking boggles your mind when you look at his numbers. Low IQ, high physical upside, like a lot of guys who don't stay all the way, like who don't, you know what I mean? It's guys who aren't starters their entire careers. Excuse me, to get that out. He's going to get disrespected by some inside moves, let me tell you that. Quickness he needs to improve, which it can in the NFL. He struggles in the run game with He struggles with leverage in the run game, which concerns me, but that's all stuff that can be erased. Number 2, and this is a matter of preference here for number 1, Charles Cross, 6'5", 310, sophomore out of Mississippi State. He's a franchise left tackle. He's got everything. Great skills in pass protection. Great run blocker. His combine numbers should show that. It's just lack of experience for me here, and I just have to go with that, and I am firm about guys staying in school for 4 years and getting their degrees and getting all the education, getting all the proper training they can when playing football, and that is just not here with Charles Cross. Number 1 guy is obviously Alabama's Evan Neal. 6'7", 360, great pass protection, great in run, moves very brilliantly across the field. The consensus number 1 guy in just about every mock draft. He is Mekhi Becton. The Jets are the guy they drafted that guy a couple years ago. You heard me just mention him. 6'8", 340, very injury prone. Evan Neal is not. He's fast. He's fucking rough. He likes to hit guys, and that's why he's my number 1 guy as far as the top 10 offensive tackles go for the 2022 NFL draft. Now let's move on to some scores. NBA. Charlotte over Toronto, 125-93. OKC over Indian Extras, 129-125. Orlando over Houston, 119-111. Also in 2 overtimes, San Antonio scored the highest amount of points in an NBA game so far this season, 157 to Washington's 153. 2 overtimes to finish that one. Miami over the Knicks, 115-100. Philly over Minnesota, 133-102 in James Harden's debut. New Orleans over Phoenix, 117-102. Utah over Dallas, 114-109. And the Clippers over the Lake Show, 105-102. That's all for NBA. Let's go on to the NHL. Carolina over Columbus Blue Jackets, 4-zip. St. Louis beats Buffalo, 5-3. Chicago stomps New Jersey, 8-5. High scoring hockey game, I love it. Colorado over Winnipeg, 6-3. Arizona over the Vegas Knights, 3-1. And LA over Anaheim, 4-1, and that should do it for the hockey scores. College basketball on the men's side: Iona over CAN, 72-65. Richmond over SCU, 68-66. Princeton over Harvard, 74-67. Number 25 Iowa over Nebraska, 88-78, and Texas State over Troy, 66-61. Now on to the girls' side of college: Drake over Illinois State, 104-62. LUC over Valparaiso, 66-52. Number 7 UConn all over St. Joe's, 93-38. And number 13 Maryland beats the number 10 Hoosiers, 67-64. And that'll do it for episode 276 of 43 Sports Talk. I'm your host, Raheem Escalade. 45 subscribers on YouTube, but we want to grow that number. And on Facebook, we want to keep the show growing as well. We love sports. I love talking to you about sports, so let's keep this going. Shout out to every single student in Western Massachusetts who suited up today, who played basketball. You know, we're going to have a hell of a show tomorrow morning talking about your guys' accomplishments and the ones who lost. Love you all. Wish you nothing but health, wealth, and success. We'll see you tomorrow, Sunday, 277.